After decades of mystery and speculation, the hidden side of reggae legend Peter Tosh is finally emerging. For years, whispers and rumors surrounded his private relationships. But now, his longtime mistress is breaking her silence, unveiling the secrets she's kept for so long. In this video, we uncover shocking revelations about the life and love of Peter Tosh. But before diving into the untold truths, let's take a moment to revisit the extraordinary journey of the man himself, from his rise to stardom to the resilience he showed in the face of adversity. Peter Tosh, whose real name was Winston Hubert Macintosh, was born on October 19, 1944, in Grange Hill, Westmoreland, Jamaica. He had a tough childhood and showed a lot of strength even before becoming famous for his music. His name was inspired by Winston Churchill, a British leader, but Tosh didn't grow up with any of that kind of wealth or comfort. His parents left him when he was young, so he was raised by his aunt in a small farming area. Even though his family life was unstable, his mother still played an important part in his early years. She raised him as a Christian, and this had a big effect on how he saw the world and what he sang about later on. Living in a farming community, Tosh heard local Jamaican mento music and also rhythm and blues from American radio stations, which helped him explore different types of music. He got his first music training in church, where he sang in the choir and learned how to play the piano and organ. His mother saw he had talent, so she sent him to piano lessons when he was in 5th grade. He went for about 6 months and quickly became very good, even being able to play the songs both forward and backward. These early lessons gave him not just skills, but also a deep feeling that music was something spiritual, something that felt like it was connected to God. Despite his talent, Tosh faced financial struggles. At 16, he moved alone to Kingston's Trenchtown, a poor but musically rich area. He sold sugarcane juice to survive and was exposed to the harsh realities of city life, which influenced his music and worldview. Unlike many, Tosh avoided gangs and focused on music. Unable to afford a guitar, he crafted one himself from wood, tin, and plastic strings. Later, with help from his mother and savings, he bought a real guitar and taught himself to play. Tosh's musical growth was boosted when he met Joe Higgs, a local singer and mentor who lived nearby. Higgs helped Tosh and his future bandmates get better by teaching them how to sing in harmony and control their breathing. It was during this time that Tosh met Bob Marley and Bunny Wailer, and together they started a group called the Wailing Wailers in the early 1960s. Tosh stood out because he was the only one in the group who could play musical instruments from the start. He had taught himself how to play both the guitar and the keyboard, which made him an important part of the group. According to both Bunny Wailer and Tosh, it was Tosh who taught Bob Marley how to play the guitar. His skill inspired the others to start learning instruments too. Because of this, the group created a unique sound that helped them grow from street singers into professional recording artists. By 1964, Tosh, Marley, and Bunny had officially started the Wailing Wailers. At first, the group also had other singers like Junior Braithwaite, Beverly Kelso, and Cherry Smith. Their first big hit song, Simmer Down, was recorded with producer Coxsone Dodd. It became #1 on the Jamaican music charts and marked the group's entry into the music world. Tosh's deep voice and strong musical skills played a big part in their early success and helped the group move from ska to the new reggae sound. Around this time, Tosh's lyrics began to show his growing interest in politics and his belief in Rastafari, which he followed even before Bob Marley came back from the United States in 1967. The group's songs started to focus more on justice, standing up to unfair treatment and spiritual strength. Tosh became known for being direct and bold in his songs. He spoke openly about issues like oppression and inequality, which made him different from his bandmates. The Wailers' early sound was also shaped by working with producers like Lee Scratch Perry, and by the drumming style of Rastafari musicians like Alvin Seco Patterson. These collaborations helped the group fine-tune both their sound and their message. Tosh did more than just perform. He also wrote powerful songs like 400 Years and Stop That Train, which showed his strong voice and fiery energy. Even though the group was becoming more famous, problems started in the early 1970s as more attention was given to Bob Marley. Tosh became unhappy with how the group was being managed and the direction they were going in. This led him to leave and start his own career in 1976 after they released the album Burnin' in 1973. That album included famous songs like I Shot the Sheriff and Get Up, Stand Up, both of which Tosh helped write or perform. Leaving the group marked the end of one chapter in his life, but it also began a new one as a solo artist. He became known for his bold messages in reggae music and for standing up for social justice and the beliefs of Rastafari. His first solo album, Legalize It, came out in 1976 under CBS Records. It became a powerful anthem calling for the legalization of substances. The title song, with its clear and fearless message, was both praised and criticized. It was even banned from being played on Jamaican radio. Still, Legalize It sold over 1 million copies and brought Tosh's strong political voice to people around the world. That same year, he created a band called Word, Sound, and Power. This group would perform and record with him for many years, helping to shape the sound of his early solo career. Tosh's next album, Equal Rights, 1977, kept the strong themes and focused on racial equality and human rights. It included his version of Get Up, Stand Up, which he co-wrote with Bob Marley, and the powerful song Stepping Razor, which became closely tied to Tosh's bold and fearless image. His songs were not just music, but also a way to speak out about problems like unfair treatment, police violence, and the fight for justice. This time showed how Tosh stood out as a brave and outspoken voice in reggae music, often clashing with people in power. For example, after he performed at the One Love Peace concert in 1978 and openly criticized Jamaican leaders and smoked substances on stage, he was arrested and reportedly beaten by police. This showed the real danger he faced for standing up for what he believed in. In 1978, Tosh signed with the Rolling Stones label Rolling Stones Records, which helped him reach more people around the world. His album Bush Doctor included songs with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. One of the tracks was a duet with Jagger covering Don't Look Back by The Temptations. This album helped Tosh connect with a larger audience while still staying true to his strong and meaningful messages. Working with the Rolling Stones boosted his fame and helped bring reggae to rock fans, making his influence even bigger. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Tosh released more albums like Mystic Man, 1979, and Wanted Dread and Alive, 1981, also under the Rolling Stones label. These albums mixed his deep Rastafarian beliefs with a desire to reach more listeners, though he never changed the heart of his message. His music spoke about important issues like apartheid in South Africa, stopping nuclear weapons, and pride in being black. Tosh was deeply committed to human rights all over the world. He also joined concerts against apartheid and used every chance he had to speak out against racism and injustice. In 1983, Peter Tosh released Mama Africa, which became his biggest success on music charts. It reached number 59 on the Billboard Top 200 and stayed there for 17 weeks. The album continued to focus on African identity and the fight for freedom. After that, his live album Captured Lives came out in 1984 and earned him his first Grammy nomination. People praised both his music and its strong messages. Around this time, Tosh decided to move to Africa. He wanted to find spiritual peace and also escape the unfair music deals that limited where his songs could be played, especially in South Africa during the time of apartheid. His last album, No Nuclear War, was released in 1987 and won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album. This gave his career a strong comeback, not long before his unexpected death. The album spoke about peace and the danger of nuclear weapons, showing how Tosh always used music to speak out for justice and change. Throughout his solo career, he stood out as a powerful performer. People remembered him for his dark sunglasses, tall figure, and honest songs that spoke straight from the heart. His story lives on, not only in his music, but also in documentaries like Stepping Razor Red X, which tells the story of his life, his music, and his mission. One of the most well-known things connected to Tosh is his M16 guitar. It looked like a rifle and became a strong symbol of his fight for justice through music. The guitar was specially made and was given to Tosh in 1983 during his Mama Africa World Tour. While in Los Angeles, a musician named Bruno Kuhn gave him the guitar as a gift. He saw Tosh as a freedom fighter, whose songs acted like weapons against injustice around the world. The M16 guitar was a perfect match for Tosh's powerful image and the messages he shared. It became a bold symbol of his music and activism. Not long after receiving the guitar, it was lost by the airline while Tosh was on tour in Europe. Thankfully, it was found again after his public relations agent wrote about the missing guitar in a German magazine called Der Spiegel. Tosh later performed with it on stage, making it an even stronger symbol of his fearless spirit and identity as a musician. The design of the guitar wasn't just for show. It made a serious statement that matched Tosh's lyrics and his beliefs as a Rastafarian. He often spoke about standing up and even fighting back against oppression, especially when it came to African freedom. If you are enjoying this video, appreciate it by giving it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Now, let's move on. In his personal life, Tosh had a strong and deep connection with a woman named Yvonne. Some people also called her Yvonne or Yvonne. This relationship had a big impact on both his life and his music career. He met Yvonne Whittingham, a young woman from a Christian middle-class family in Kingston, Jamaica, not long before he moved to the United States. Their relationship was different from what most of his friends had. It was built on real care, respect, and shared ideas. Yvonne wasn't just beautiful with her bright green eyes. She was also smart and knew a lot about music and Black history. She and Tosh believed in many of the same things and cared about similar issues. Being with her helped show a softer, more thoughtful side of him that many people didn't see because of his bold public image. Their relationship was serious, and Tosh was planning to marry Yvonne after releasing his album Catch a Fire in 1973. She helped keep him grounded during difficult times, especially when problems within the Wailers almost made him quit the group. Her calm nature helped him stay and continue with the band for a little longer. When the Wailers toured the United States later that year, Tosh made sure Yvonne came with him, which was unusual for reggae musicians at that time. It showed how much she meant to him. Sadly, Yvonne died in a car crash in 1973, and Tosh never fully recovered from the loss. Her death hit him hard and changed his life and career. Even though she helped shape his first solo album, Legalize It, she didn't live to see its release in 1976. Tosh's sadness after losing her showed in his stubbornness and the way he struggled to work with others. Some people believe this made it harder for the album to become a big commercial success, even though it was praised by critics. Yvonne didn't just support him emotionally, she also helped him with important business and creative decisions. She helped him talk to record labels and played a big role in building his solo career. She wasn't just his partner in love, but also in work. After she died, Tosh had other relationships, and one of the most well-known was with a woman named Andrea Marlene Brown. Marlene Brown became Tosh's common-law wife. They were together for about 5 years, starting around 1982, when she was 21 years old. Their relationship was deeply emotional, but also full of problems and drama, which was very different from the steady and calming relationship he had with Yvonne. Marlene was not just his partner, she had a strong and sometimes controlling influence over him. Some of Tosh's friends and family felt that this caused problems in his other relationships. They believed she pushed him away from his close friends and even from family members. Marlene accused some of his friends of stealing or being disloyal, which led to fights and broke trust within his group. Some people close to Tosh also claimed that Marlene practiced witchcraft and used spells on him. Whether true or not, these claims show how much trouble and mistrust surrounded Tosh during this time. Friends said he often seemed like a zombie or helpless when he was with her, which was very different from the strong and fearless person he used to be. His behavior started to change. He had angry outbursts and even accused his own sons of betrayal. At one point, he temporarily disowned them because of doubts that many say were encouraged by Marlene. Even with all this going on, Tosh stayed deeply in love with Marlene. He didn't seem to notice the warning signs or the damage the relationship was doing to his life and music. Marlene had so much control over him that she even decided who could see him. She made his home like a locked-up place, keeping visitors out. This was strange for someone like Tosh, who had always been open and kind to people. That isolation may have played a role in what later happened to him. Tosh's life came to a tragic and violent end on the night of September 11, 1987, at his home in Kingston, Jamaica. That evening, he had just come back to his house on Plymouth Avenue in the Barbican area when 3 armed men on motorcycles showed up, demanding money. One of them was Dennis Lepo Laban, someone Tosh had once helped after he got out of prison. Tosh told them there was no money in the house, but they didn't believe him. The men stayed for hours, torturing him to try and force him to give them money. As time went on, more people came to the house, and the attackers held them hostage too. things kept getting worse and more violent. The gunman made everyone lie face down on the floor and kept shouting for cash and valuables. When they didn't get what they wanted, they became more aggressive. Survivors later said the attackers started shooting wildly and without mercy. Tosh was shot twice in the head and died from his injuries. 2 other people were also killed: Wilton Doc Brown, a herbalist, and Jeff Free Eye Dixon, a disc jockey. Several others were badly hurt, including Tosh's partner Andrea Marlene Brown, Dixon's wife Yvonne, also called Joy, Tosh's drummer Carlton Santa Davis, and musician Michael Robinson. What made this even more painful was the fact that Lepo, the main attacker, had once been close to Tosh. Some reports say he even went to prison in Tosh's place for an earlier crime, which made the attack feel like a deep betrayal. During the robbery, Lepo told Tosh he was angry that Tosh didn't take care of him after he got out of jail. At one point, he even threatened to cut off Tosh's head when Tosh said he had no US dollars. Tosh, scared and desperate, tried to ask for more time, but the gunman lost patience and started shooting. Lepo was later caught and put on trial for the murder. He said he was innocent and said he had been drinking with friends when the crime happened. But the jury did not believe him. He was found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging. Later, his sentence was changed, and he stayed in prison. The other 2 men involved were never officially named or punished. Peter Tosh died either at the scene or shortly after being taken to a local hospital. His death shocked the reggae community and people around the world. It took away a strong voice for human rights, justice, and equality from the music world. Marlene later spoke publicly about that tragic night and shared her experiences with Tosh. She gave eyewitness accounts that helped people understand how terrible the event was. But she remains a controversial figure among Tosh's fans and friends. Some blame her for contributing to his downfall, while others see her as a loyal partner who went through a lot with him. After Tosh's death in 1987, the M16 guitar became a special symbol of his legacy. However, his family and friends argued over who should keep it. In 2006, the guitar was supposed to be sold on eBay by Tosh's common-law wife, Andrea Marlene Brown, but the sale stopped after Tosh's sons, Andrew Tosh and Jawara Macintosh, said they owned it. By 2011, Andrew said the guitar was with a close friend, waiting for a museum dedicated to Peter Tosh to open. This way, the guitar could be saved as part of his cultural history. The M16 guitar has also been talked about in many stories and articles about Tosh's life and career. His former manager, Herbie Miller, said the guitar fits well with Tosh's strong attitude, using music to fight injustice everywhere. This showed how the guitar was more than just an instrument. It stood for Tosh's fight against apartheid, colonialism, and unfair treatment through his music. Even though there have been rumors about the guitar being sold or lost, Tosh's family and estate say the original M16 guitar is safe. It is part of a collection meant for a museum about Tosh's life and work. This museum will also hold other items like his unicycle and Grammy Awards. Together, these items tell the story of a reggae pioneer who used music to push for change. Peter Tosh had 10 children from different relationships. Some of them are well known, especially for helping keep his legacy and music alive. The most public ones are Andrew, Jawara, Aldrina, and Niam Tosh. Andrew Tosh, whose full name is Carlos Andrew Macintosh, was born on June 19, 1967 in Kingston, Jamaica. He is a famous reggae singer and the oldest son of Peter Tosh, who helped start the Wailers band. Andrew's family is full of music. His uncle is Bunny Wailer, another original Wailer. Andrew's mother, Shirley Livingston, is Bunny Wailer's sister and is also related to Bob Marley's mother. Growing up in this family, Andrew was surrounded by reggae music and the Rastafarian way of life from an early age. As a child, Andrew spent a lot of time with his father, singing in the countryside of Westmoreland. They sang Peter Tosh's reggae songs and pop hits by artists like Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles. Peter noticed Andrew's love for music and encouraged him to learn piano. The first song Andrew learned was his father's "You Can't Blame the Youth," showing his early passion for music. At school in Duhaney Park, Kingston, Andrew often led singing, showing his natural gift. When he was 14, he learned to ride a unicycle just like his father, connecting him more to his dad's legacy. Even though Peter traveled a lot, Andrew lived in his father's home during important years, soaking in the culture and music that shaped his future. Andrew's musical journey began in 1985 when he recorded his first song, Vanity Love, produced by Charlie Chaplin. His first big public performance was in 1987 at Peter Tosh's funeral, where he sang Jah Guide and Equal Rights. This showed how deeply connected he was to his father's music. After that, he released his first album, Original Man, and then his second album, Make Place for the Youth, in 1989. The second album earned him a Grammy nomination and helped him become known worldwide. Besides music, Andrew followed Rastafarian beliefs, which his father taught him about. Although he grew up in the Catholic Church, around age 13, he chose Rastafari as his spiritual path. This belief shaped much of his music and life. His Uncle Bunny Wailer has been a guide to him, helping with singing and fitness. Andrew keeps himself healthy by jogging, unicycling, swimming, and playing soccer so he can perform well. Niam Macintosh, also called Niam Tosh, is Peter Tosh's youngest child. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, and raised in Boston, she blends many cultures and experiences. As the youngest of 9 siblings, she still took on big roles managing her father's estate and brand. She works hard to keep his legacy alive, with a modern focus on social justice, health, and wellness. Nyambe started with a strong background in science and education. She graduated from Wentworth Institute of Technology with an engineering degree and worked in that field early on. But her love for helping children led her to change careers. She got a master's in education and taught math and special education in Boston for nearly 10 years, showing her care for empowering others as her father did. Nyambe also helped create the Peter Tosh Museum in Kingston, which opened in 2016 to celebrate her father's life and work. She and her family started the Peter Tosh Foundation in 2017 to promote social justice and human rights. As leader of the foundation and her family's company, she makes sure her father's message stays strong and important. Her activism includes a strong focus on health and wellness, following Rastafarian ideas about caring for body, mind, and spirit. This way of life supports her larger goal of freedom and fairness. Nyambe is a modern leader who connects her cultural roots with today's social movements. Jawara Macintosh, known as Tosh I, was the youngest son of the famous reggae star Peter Tosh. Born in 1980, Jawara inherited his father's musical talent and strong support for Rastafarianism and the legalization of substances, which was central to Peter Tosh's life and message. Growing up with his father's influence, Jawara chose both music and activism, making a name for himself as a reggae artist and supporter of substance rights. Like his father, Tosh I used his music and voice to promote substance legalization, seeing substance as a sacred herb in the Rastafarian faith. His activism was deep and personal, but it sadly led to a tragic event. In 2017, while serving a jail sentence for substance possession, Jawara was violently attacked by another inmate. The attack caused serious brain injuries and put him into a coma. Before this, he was lively and full of energy. But after the attack, he needed constant care and could no longer perform everyday tasks. Melody Cunningham, who is Jawara's mother and was sometimes called a mistress of Peter Tosh, has spoken with strong feelings about her late partner and the struggles their family has gone through. Melody has played a big role in caring for Jawara after he was seriously hurt in a prison attack that caused brain damage. A close family friend said Melody made great sacrifices with both money and emotions during this hard time. She spent many hours managing Jawara's medical needs, talking with doctors, nurses, insurance companies, and suppliers to make sure he got the best care. Her hard work has been the base for the family's healing. And their campaign called Justice for Jawara, which asks for answers about how the prison failed to keep him safe. When talking about Peter Tosh, Melody's words and actions show her deep respect for his beliefs and the legacy he left behind. She has shared the pain and unfairness their family has felt since Peter was violently killed in 1987. Peter was known for his strong but peaceful beliefs. He once said, "I never think I should hurt a man. That's the way I was born and raised. That's the way I grow. That's the way I feel within myself. I don't think I should hurt anything that has life." Seen? This way of thinking about peace and respect for life is sadly very different from the violence that harmed both Peter and Jawara, showing the tragic irony in their family's story. Melody also talked about Jawara's creative side, remembering how he often called her Mother Rhythm and loved to share his new songs and musical ideas with her. She said Jawara was inspired by his spirit when making music and would write songs suddenly, always wanting her thoughts and support. This close bond shows how important music and spirit were in their family life, carrying on Peter Tosh's artistic and cultural legacy. Facing Jawara's condition, Melody's sadness has been deep. She said, "My heart cries not knowing what happened to my son," and shared how hard it is to watch him suffer, but try to stay strong for him. She didn't stop at caring for him. She also pushed for justice by joining lawsuits against Bergen County Jail for not protecting him and asking for investigations into the attack. Melody's memories of Peter Tosh are closely tied to her role as a mother and fighter for justice in a family full of great talent but also deep pain. She shows the strength and hope for fairness that Peter stood for, carrying on his work by supporting their children and fighting for human rights. Her son Jawara was a father to 4 children, who were between 6 and 11 years old when he became incapacitated. Being a father and family man was very important to him, and his condition was a huge loss not just to the reggae world, but to his own family. Even after everything, Jawara's music and activism live on, continuing Peter Tosh's fight for justice through their shared passion. What are your thoughts on these revelations about Peter Tosh? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.